Hi, and welcome back to another episode of SEO on Air. I'm your host, Aaron, and today we have Max Desmarais, Director of Strategy at Vital Design. We talk about digital marketing strategies for B2B clients, key components of paid search campaigns, and the importance of content marketing and link building in 2023. I hope you enjoyed this episode. So, what I do want to know is how you kind of got into Vital itself. What were you really doing before that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I've been at Vital for a large portion of my career now. Before Vital, I was actually in college getting my marketing degree, and found a passion for digital marketing while I was in college, getting my marketing degree. So I realized that there was a bit of a gap in the education that I was getting, where I felt like I wasn't necessarily getting as much marketing education as it relates to digital marketing specifically. And I thought digital marketing was, a large portion of the future of marketing. So um, I started, looking into digital marketing, got several internships in SEO and content marketing while I was going to college. I started my own website, hikingandfishing.com, during that time period, and basically did a whole bunch of self-education on digital marketing while I was in school, and pursued digital marketing related internships so that I could set myself up for success and career in digital marketing later. And out of school, or just before I finished school, I was looking for the best possible marketing agencies that I could get to learn as much as I possibly could, get really cool clients in the process. And Vital popped up when I was doing those searches, and spoke to a lot of people and heard tons of great things about Vital. And I basically decided I wanted to work at Vital before I started to work at Vital, and did everything in my power to set myself up for, you know, actually getting hired at Vital. And I've grown my career at Vital since then.
But can you tell me a bit more about Vital Design? Let's talk about, let's say, what exactly they do and how you play a role in their services.
Yeah, for sure. So Vital Design is a digital marketing agency. We service clients in all types of industries. Particularly, more recently, we've been really focusing on higher education, manufacturers, and fintech companies. But we really realistically have clients of all sizes in just about every industry currently. Uh, Vital historically has done a lot of website design and build projects. Um, and those clients often turn into what we call digital marketing retainers. So they go into a retainer structure where our goals and objectives are to grow their website traffic, grow their website leads, grow their revenue, and do so measurably so that we're continuously improving and getting them a positive return on investment for their marketing spend.
Right.
Um, so we basically have kind of two sides of the house: one that does project based work for the design and build of websites, and another that takes those clients and puts them in digital marketing retainers to get them results. And those digital marketing retainers include, they're very broad in that we focus on kind of the lowest hanging fruit, what is going to get the client the most results in the quickest amount of time, within the budget that we have available. Which means most of our clients have some type of paid advertising spend, so they're in a pay-per-click retainer where we're doing Google ads or LinkedIn ads or social media ads, or we're basically ad platform agnostic, as well as we're very heavy in SEO and content marketing, so producing content marketing strategies that are going to drive long-term results, more traffic, and more leads for the clients. And we do so in a very measurable way so that we can prove to the clients, here's the work that we've done, here's the leads that are results from the work that we've done, here's the quoted pipeline value from the work that we've done, and here's the revenue that's been attributed to the work that we've done, so that you can see
All the evidence is there.
you can see all the evidence exactly, and that's how you can retain clients for very long periods of time.
And how exactly do you play a role in all of this?
Yeah, so um, when I started at Vital, I was actually a marketing coordinator, so I was kind of in the background, launching email campaigns, publishing blog posts, you know, making edits on websites, doing all that nitty gritty work, doing link building. From there, I progressed, and got into pay per click advertising. So I ended up running our pay per click department, running almost all the ads for all of our clients for a period of time. Helped build out that department into a much larger team than it is today. And I also, during that time period, did a lot of technical SEO items. So since then, I progressed from a pay-per-click guy and an SEO guy to an overall marketing strategist, where I'm helping plan the holistic strategies for our clients, and running the paid advertising department, the SEO department at our company, and managing all of the digital marketing strategists, which is the holistic team that builds the actual marketing calendars and strategies for our clients. So yeah, I've done just about every role in the digital marketing side at Vital. And now I sit in a strategic position for our clients and a managerial position to help grow our teams.
So let's say I am the owner of the fintech payment service, Pay Me Now. I've kind of just started off. I have a website. I have a few services listed on the website. Haven't done really much, let's say, technical SEO, or to be fair, any SEO at all. Sorry again. What would be your, let's say, first couple of steps to get traffic to this website? How do I get to that point where people are actually looking for me?
Yeah, that's a totally fair question. And we take it's very important for us to make sure that we go through a discovery process with the client so that we can figure out how their foundation is. So is their website technically sound? Do they have the right structure and ability to scale up content marketing, build quality landing pages that are actually going to convert for pay-per-click campaigns, that they have the right conversion offers on the site and the right CRO items in place. And we almost always need to start at the foundation if that stuff isn't in place. It's very hard to produce a digital marketing strategy that's going to yield long-term growth or results or leads if that foundation isn't in place. So right. What we'll first do is a discovery process where we conduct a whole bunch of interviews and questions to figure out everything we know about your particular company, your industry, your competitors, your existing clientele, your sales team, etc., as well as diving into your entire technology stack, what your sales team's using, your CRM, your CMS, everything that your website is built on, and the SEO foundation that you already have, and the CRO foundation that you already have. And that's kind of essential to understand all of that before we make the actual recommendations. But inevitably, we tend to see a lot of the same, which is, conversion offers, aren't quite there. We're missing empathy points all across the website. They're producing tons of content, but that content hasn't been strategically planned to drive organic traffic and keywords in the long run. So almost always, initially, we're setting up new pay-per-click advertising campaigns, generally trying to start with paid search first, just because we get the intent-based marketing through paid search. It gives us a whole bunch of data in terms of which keywords are going to drive high-quality traffic that are going to result in leads and revenue down the line, and it's very measurable. We can start with pay-per-click advertising to learn as much as we can. We can even, build out landing pages for those pay-per-click advertising campaigns that we're going to create. And then we conduct a whole bunch of keyword research, figure out where your site's ranking, and figure out kind of our lowest hanging fruit in terms of content that we can produce to drive more traffic and more leads to the site. And then we're going to produce that content, publish it on a consistent basis, do all types of promotion through pay-per-click advertising, do link building, and do everything in our power to leverage their foundation or add to their foundation, tack onto that a great marketing strategy and data from Google Ads or other ad platforms as necessary, and continuously improve from there. I know that's a very systematic and quick way to put it, but the truth is, because we're an agency that has all types of services, it's really essential for us to understand, do that discovery process, understand where their foundation currently is, so that we can make sure that our marketing strategy is dialed into the lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I think without that, you're kind of setting yourself up to fail. It kind of goes with that saying, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So if you don't do that foundational work in the beginning, you're going to come across some issues later on. And you could have pretty much solved it off if you just did that initial search.
Absolutely. And we find that some clients come into us with a really solid foundation, or actually many of our clients have a very solid foundation because we just built their foundation. We've built their website, but we have tons of clients that come directly into our digital marketing program. And, we put them we do a bit of a discovery phase and we figure out what it's going to take in order to set up that foundation. We kind of set the expectations that you're not going to see results from the building of this foundation per se. Like this is what's going to set us up for success in the long run. It's going to be a 6 to 12 week foundation phase where we're going to produce these assets on your site or change whatever we need to, and then from there we're going to get rolling in our digital marketing strategy and use that foundation for long-term success.
Okay, so one thing I have to throw in there, pretty much a wrench into your whole gear system, is while doing this discovery search on me and my company, you found all the relevant information that you need in general, but you kind of also realize at some point that the CEO of the company and the owner has absolutely no knowledge about anything that you're talking about, but he has a
Yeah.
lot of money to invest. So if I want to take the long term win, which is SEO, I know I'm going to wait a couple of months to actually see results. But if I tell you, hey, listen, I want to see some results quickly on my paid search campaigns. One, how do I do that? Two, what would be the best way to kind of go about that as well? And three, well, I think just tips and tricks along the way.
Well, I think you're already bringing up a great point, which is like if you have someone who's not super familiar with digital marketing in general or pay-per-click advertising or SEO, like we got to boil it down to like goals and objectives. What are they trying to accomplish? What would success look like to them? And we very frequently can boil this down to, I want high quality leads that my sales team can nurture, that's going to result in opportunities. And I don't necessarily care how you get that done, but as long as we can agree upon, with this amount of budget, we need to get X amount of leads or X amount of opportunity pipeline created, or X amount of revenue.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, boil it down to their end goals. Once we can agree upon those end goals and their goals and objectives, it makes it much easier to like pitch every project. First of all, like we're going to do this, we're going to measure it in this way so that we can show you that we're achieving those specific goals and objectives that we had talked about. And that's all part of kind of our normal discovery process. And then it's essential, like in that foundation, to set up the tracking to do that as well. And
Right.
sometimes that can take a bit of time depending upon the tech stack that's there. But we need to be able to show you, if we're going to do a paid search campaign, this campaign spent X amount of dollars, it resulted in X amount of leads. These leads resulted in X amount of phone calls with your sales team, which resulted in X amount of opportunity pipeline value, which resulted in X amount of revenue. We need to be able to tell that full picture. And if you can get to that point, like it becomes much easier to sell to the CEO or the leadership team that, isn't quite sure about digital marketing or doesn't know much about it. Like you just got to focus on those goals and objectives and build a strategy around that.
Yeah.
I might have missed some questions there, but
It's fine. I
that's
think
like,
you kind of covered the main part of it. Even if I don't really know too much about SEO or PPC, if I do see the numbers and if they're all going up in a green line, I guess as a CEO who doesn't know anything, I would probably be like, oh, things are going good.
yeah. And like the truth is a lot of they don't want to hear vanity metrics. I mean, marketers are notoriously, known for, talking about impressions and clicks and keyword rankings. And those are all important and they're contributors to the end goals. But really we need to be able to take a step further. And with digital marketing, we can, so we should be getting there. And that's really key. We got to meet, those leaders where they're actually looking and the goals where they're actually going to make business value and impact. And if we can show them the improvement on those metrics, that's where you have to go. And we take that approach for 100% of our clients.
So to kind of do a flip side on that, if I, as the client, came to you and said I would actually only want vanity metrics, how long would it take for you to tell me I'm crazy?
Me, I'm pretty blunt, so not very long.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, no, that's a good question. And to be honest, it's happened to us before where, they want more clicks and they want more impressions. And honestly,
Right.
sometimes that's not the best relationship for us at Vital. Like we're so focused on making sure that we're impacting the actual bottom line and the business revenue, that if we don't have the team that's, that we can agree upon those goals and objectives, it becomes a more difficult relationship, because sometimes we don't like what's going to affect those vanity metrics isn't going to affect the business value the same way. We can get you a ton of traffic. We can get you a ton of impressions. The agency that you just had was getting 3 million ad impressions, but they weren't resulting in, business pipeline value. Like, we don't want to focus on those things. So to be transparent, sometimes we may not want to work with a team that is like that, but we also, like, rarely is that the case. And usually we explain, like, these metrics are important, but really what you're asking for here isn't for more impressions. What you're asking for is more leads or more pipeline value. And we got to kind of continuously reiterate and have that conversation when we do get those. Well, why aren't our, we want to get a million impressions this year, or why are your ads getting less impressions than the agency that we worked with before? Well, because we're not trying to get more impressions. So it's just about resetting expectations and goals.
Right. And I think also when you mentioned the goal part of it, if the client does have that goal, it isn't really your, let's say, duty to educate them to the point where you have to tell them, hey, listen, you should change your goals. But you do have to give them some awareness that the goals might not be the best type of goals. You'll still do the work, but it might not be in their best interest to take part in that.
Yeah. And to be honest, we also have some clients that that do operate that way because their business really is based off of impressions or traffic, and that's okay too. Especially if you're talking about, like, there's omni-channel stuff, or like you're not even the seller of your product. Other people sell your product. You're looking to get as many impressions as possible, or if you're a content house. The goals and objectives shift a lot, but you can still get to, like, impactful, measurable metrics, and that's really key.
Okay, so we'll kind of, let's say, stick to the paid search part of it. If I have now taken everything you have said at face value as a dumb CEO who doesn't really know much, how do I make sure that whatever goals that I have set out in terms of just ads, they are converting to what I need them to be? Basically, how do I improve my conversion rate?
Yeah, I mean, it's a loaded question, but I'll go back really quickly to the foundation. The foundation of measurability across the full funnel is essential to exactly what you're talking about. You want to be able to see which campaigns are resulting in which individual leads and what stage of the process are those leads in. We want to know more than just, like, lead and close won or close lost, especially in B2B situations like fintech or other, where the sales cycle might be a short sales cycle, might be 3 months, but often, like, we're talking a year or even longer in some cases. There's a lot of stages to that process. And we know, and we've found out over time, that sometimes we need to get involved in the sales process to improve conversion rate. So there's the conversion rate of the website side, which is how do we turn this traffic into leads? And that's using CRO best practice landing pages, doing high quality offers on those pages, and not just bottom of funnel, which is where many organizations are missing the boat. Everyone's focused on the bottom of the funnel. How do we get in front of the person who, needs a solution or a partner right now, and they're, ready to speak to sales? That's only a small percentage of the people that we can get in front of. And, it's often the most saturated and competitive space. If we start moving up the funnel a little bit to the middle of the funnel or to the top of the funnel, and use conversion offers like ebooks and webinars and things like this to help increase that top of funnel lead count and nurture those leads into sales ready leads, we start to be able to find gaps in the competition where we can leverage ourselves over the competitors. So we're always doing that side of it, and doing the conversion rate optimization to find out how can we decrease our cost per lead and decrease our cost per sales ready lead, or cost per conversation with sales, through content, better ads, conversion rate optimization tactics. But then the other part of this is, once we do, get that person to fill out the I want to speak to sales form, or to get a quote or whatever, we also want to make sure that we understand that how that person is progressing. First of all, is the sales team responding to that lead within a couple hours? Is the sales team following up with that lead at least 6+ times if they haven't, responded and scheduled? If they're not doing those things, there might be an issue with the process that we can improve to help nurture those leads from a marketing qualified lead to an actual opportunity, so that we can identify problems by understanding, where people are in the different stages of the process. Creating nurture campaigns to, take leads that have been recycled from sales qualified leads back to just leads, or leads that just haven't taken the next step. The measurability here is key so that we can identify the problems in the conversion process. It becomes really easy as digital marketers to identify the problems in the process from website traffic to actual conversion. But where we tend to often differentiate is identifying the issues in the organization around how are these marketing qualified leads turning into opportunities, and how are these opportunities turning into sales. And that's a big part of the measurability as well. What percentage are continuing to move down the cycle, and where are we seeing drop-offs in that percentage, so that we can go speak to our clients, speak to the sales teams, figure out why these leads aren't progressing, whether it's a process thing, a content thing, a wrong customer profile thing. Like, we can identify the individual problems and address those through marketing strategies and process improvement on the sales side. So we can go beyond just the marketing side of things, and work with the sales team to improve that overall process as well.
So now, if I have, let's say, one person on my team who's like you, who kind of understands what needs to be done, but maybe doesn't have a team to do it with them, would that be, would it be better for me to kind of outsource some of these problems that I have, or would it be better to start hiring an in-house team?
Yeah, I mean, that's that's the classic, the is an agency would actually utilize, or an in-house team. And it honestly depends upon the size
Could
of the
be a
market.
subtle plug for both of us.
Yeah, exactly. And the truth is that what we found, and it's why we have a lot of success, and why agencies in general that do good work have a lot of success, is it's much harder to build your own internal team, and it's a lot easier to leverage an agency that has a whole bunch of people um, with the expertise here. And the amount of people you need to hire to build out a marketing department that has the skill set to build a high quality website, to run high quality ads, to optimize that website, to build traffic to it over time, to nurture those leads, figure out problems in the marketing and sales process is,
Preach, preach.
yeah, it's a lot of people. And that's why a marketing agency who specializes in some of these things has a ton of value. And we're actually, it's interesting to say that we have clients that we're like their whole marketing team. We also have clients that are enterprise level, and we're just a small portion of their marketing team, and everything in between there. And basically, I would say that an agency generally can find a fit in just about any application and work with your team. Like, find the gaps in your team. Even if you have a marketing, one of our most common contacts and is our marketing director at an organization. They often have a marketing coordinator and a couple other team members as well. Building out the whole team is very difficult. It takes a lot of budget and a lot of time.
So, how would you kind of describe technical SEO? I think we kind of did PPC side of things. We can now move to the SEO side. What are the technical SEO things I need to do for my website to kind of get it jump started?
Technical SEO is kind of like the foundation of the SEO, and like, you need to have a baseline level of technical SEO in order to have success. And if you can like almost never hit 100% like perfect on everything in almost any tech stack, but the closer you get, the easier it is to beat the competition there. I guess when it comes to like the baseline of technical SEO, I super simplify it from my standpoint. I need to have quality site structure and URL structure. So it needs to be really easy for the search engines and people to navigate around your site, search engines to index those pages, and very clear to Google and users where your priority pages are and not. And it needs to be very clear what you do and what you don't do. That site structure and architecture is extremely important to the foundational SEO elements. You got the URL structure and a quality site structure. Next thing I'm looking for from a technical SEO perspective is, do we have a reasonably fast loading website? Does it perform on Does it perform fast on desktop, mobile, and tablets? And does it look and respond and have the proper site architecture, the same site architecture on all those different devices as well?
Right.
It's just essential to have a website that works on all devices, is fast, and has a quality site architecture. And we could talk about site architecture for a year.
Another episode.
Yeah, exactly. And it could be a super simple site or it could be an extremely complex site, but you need to have those bare bones, like quality main menu navigation and easy to utilize. You need to have a blog. You don't have to call it a blog, but you need to have a resource center. You need to have these bones within a website in order to allow it to be indexable, easily crawlable, easy for users to find it, and then it needs to work on all devices and be fast. If you drop technical SEO into those few things, like if you've got a quality foundation, those things are going to be checked off.
And now someone has come to me and mentioned that there's other parts of SEO like on page and off page. So is that in the hierarchy of importance? Where does that come?
Yeah, extremely, I guess. It's either on page or off page SEO that we're focusing on, or a little bit of both. And it just depends where you are in the life cycle of your business and the domain the authority of your website and how well known you are, depending upon how much we focus on each. I would say you got to have the baseline on-site content in order to have anywhere to progress to. I guess the foundational content would be: do you have all the service pages, solutions pages, product pages, about page, all the key pages that explain what you do, your products, who you service, how you differentiate yourselves from the competition, and who your ideal clientele is. Like, you need to have those base set of pages, and that could be 2 pages for some companies. It can be hundreds for other companies, depending. But you need to have that like base on-site page structure there. And then once you have that in place, we often need to like build your authority in a particular space, which means we need to do a whole bunch of content marketing. You need to produce blog posts and articles and ebooks and webinars on topics that are going to position you as a thought leader, and position your website in the eyes of search engines as a thought leader on particular topics. And we're going to produce a whole bunch of content in almost all cases for our clients, in order to build authority and drive more traffic, and have like the necessary content that we need. We're going to be producing a whole bunch of content with the amount of offsite SEO that we do. Realistically, we're primarily talking about link building, or public relations in some ways. But when we talk about public relations PR from an SEO standpoint, we're talking about links. How do we build more links to your website? How do we build more links directly to the key pages on your site? And the amount of that we need to do is very industry dependent, and it's very dependent upon the historical nature of your site. So, some clients, we actually need to do very little on it because the landscape isn't super competitive or they're super well known in the space. And others, we need to, allocate 50% of our time towards it in order to build enough authority over time to drive traffic. And it's just the weight at which we do on-site versus off-site is dependent upon the foundation that we're building upon.
Another, let's say, wrench to throw into this whole thing. Not really a wrench, but more of like a doubt. We've talked about PPC, CRO, SEO. Where does AI fit into this? And can AI pretty much help me out with all of it?
Yeah, it's a great question. Yeah, AI can help you with everything, for sure.
Okay.
What we're doing at Vital is trying to incorporate AI in all of our processes to make us more efficient. So from a marketing strategy perspective, I'm using AI tools to help come up with content ideas, help come up with overall content topics and things like that we can discuss for clients. Generally speaking, what the AI produces is, 40% good and 60% bad. But what it does do is it really it takes away that blank page syndrome. It makes it way more efficient to come up with ideas and spin off those ideas. And so from a marketing strategy perspective, I get a whole bunch of efficiencies because I can use it as this idea generation type tool that helps me plan things and basically brainstorm and come up with new, fresh ideas.
Right.
But we're incorporating AI into all of our departments. So that's me as a strategist. Our pay-per-click team is using it to help us write ad copy and headlines and landing page copy and optimizing those items over time. Like they're using in that process to speed up their copywriting, but also improve their copywriting and improve their click-through rates and things like that through those processes. Our writing team is starting to incorporate AI into their writing process, generally not to like spit out a whole piece of content, but it's similar to the strategy side of things of like getting over that blank page syndrome of when you have a blank page in front of you, it becomes a lot more difficult. But if you have an outline or you use it to help produce an outline or produce ideas or give you additional information on a topic that you're covering, you can substantially reduce the amount of time that you're spending on writing pieces of content. We're already seeing that for our writing team of, leveraging AI helps us write faster. Where we're very hesitant is to like use AI to produce content, or use AI as like to produce stuff that's like the end byproduct, because it produces a lot of subpar stuff or inaccurate stuff, and like really it's an efficiency tool from our perspective. And as it continues to get better, we may see that shift, but it helps us just do everything faster, and we're trying to incorporate in all of our processes to just be faster, more efficient, better utilize the hours for our clients.
What are, let's say, 3 books that you would recommend our viewers and listeners? They don't have to be, let's say, digital marketing or business related. They could be just any books that, struck a chord with you.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. Does it have to be books specifically, or can I go like SEO style stuff? Because us as SEOs and digital marketers, everyone's digital.
I'll give you a more encompassing question. What are 3 resources? It can be websites, it can be people, it can be podcasts. What are 3 recommendations you would give for just people to go to?
Yeah. Okay. So I really am enjoying SEO Notebook. I'm forgetting who puts it together, which is bad. But there's always case studies and these very niche tips as a digital marketer that I'm loving. And I've occasionally, once every 3 weeks, I get something super valuable out of it. I dig into it. I figure, something out, and it gives me something new to explore in the digital marketing space. So SEO Notebook has been a pretty cool one for me. I also really enjoy the entrepreneurial side of discussions a lot as well. So there's a couple podcasts, obviously some really well-known ones like How I Built This are always super fun to listen to, how organizations have built the success that they've had, and to listen to founders and CEOs produce those stories. And then I'm always trying to think of like their digital marketing and overall marketing strategies when listening to those things, which has been fun for me. Another one of those entrepreneurial podcasts that's been really great is oh no, I'm forgetting the name of it, with Andrew Warner, if you know the podcast. Oh goodness,
sorry, I can't help you out there.
No, that's okay. So I really enjoy the entrepreneurial podcasts for a whole bunch of reasons. They're interesting to me, but they also give you insights into how successful organizations are building themselves. And then lastly, I think the classics of like subscribing to Search Engine Journal, and reading the 1 in 50 articles that's high quality, to figure out what other people are doing and learning. Those are kind of my 3 main learning methods, aside from I do a lot of this stuff frequently for a large portion of my clients, and I'm constantly doing digital marketing myself on my own site. So there's a lot of learning by doing and working with colleagues.
The last question I do have for you isn't really SEO related also, or even PPC or and anything that we have spoken about, to be honest. It's kind of related to threads and Twitter. Is that something we can talk about, but probably just surface level, I guess, right?
Yeah, probably surface level, but we could certainly talk about it.
So I think the one question I can probably ask is, what are your thoughts? Is this the new Twitter killer, or should we even be worried about it?
Oh man, who knows would be my answer if it's going to be the Twitter killer. What I do know is Threads immediately had large adoption. It's getting usage. It's going to continue to grow. We're going to see, and they have a significant competitive advantage to be tied into, Instagram the way they do. I'm sure as a digital marketer, if you made an account, you saw, the neat tool of boom, follow all my Instagram followers and basically vice versa, um, which is a great growth tactic. And I think that's going to propel them to a lot of early success. And my assumption is because it's a meta product, it's going to be around for a long time.
Whether we
And
like it or
therefore,
not.
whether you like it or not, it's probably another social media tool that you should be leveraging. And this probably represents a good opportunity to be ahead of the competition. Creating a thread account and figuring out how it works, and trying to leverage the fact that not everyone's there yet.
Thanks a lot, Max, for the chat. It's been great.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for watching that episode. I hope you enjoyed. For more videos like this, make sure you like and subscribe.